a fiery car crash, a natural disaster. When you're in an emergency, we've all been taught to do the same thing. Call 911 for help. But what if we told you the 911 dispatchers on the other end of the line are just as helpless as you?
We have spent months testing the location accuracy of 911 calls made by cell phones. NBC2 investigator Rachel Polansky is live in Cape Coral with the stunning results.
When you call 911 from your cell phone, the dispatcher does not see your location. Instead, they must ask the wireless carrier for that information from a cell tower. That tower might be nearby like this one, or it could be miles away. And if you can't vocalize your exact location, those dispatchers may not be able to find you.
Help me! What's the address?
911 failed my wife and failed my family.
The final hours of this young mother's life
I came home after I got off work.
Were horrific.
Found my kids in the house by themselves.
Denise Amber Lee was abducted.
A stranger named Michael King took my wife, kidnapped her in broad daylight.
From her home in Northport in 2008.
Proceeded to rape her and then murdered her.
Her husband, Nathan,
There were multiple 911 calls made.
believes she could have been saved.
Multiple witnesses that saw my wife.
Denise even made a call to 911 herself, begging for her life.
But because it was from a cell phone and it was in a moving car, they were unable to find her.
Almost a decade later, technology has evolved and we have smartphones that can pinpoint our exact location. But the NBC2 investigators have learned that 911 centers
Is there an address there?
are behind the times. If Uber can pinpoint my exact location, why can't the 911 centers?
We are relying on information provided from the carriers. The 911 centers do not have any control over the accuracy that is provided.
The Charlotte County E911 coordinator agreed to let me test cell phone accuracy from inside the dispatch center.
This right here indicates that it's wireless phase 1.
Using AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, and T-Mobile.
So it shows the address of the tower that I bounced off of, which is Technology Boulevard, which is in that direction.
My calls continually ping cell towers 3 to 4 miles away.
3.7 miles from my location right now.
And the dispatcher could not pinpoint my location.
It would be hard to find me if I didn't know what my location was.
And is that because we're inside a building and a lot of barriers?
Correct.
The NBC2 investigators have learned that the system used by 911 was designed almost 20 years ago, back when people relied on landlines. And this isn't just a Charlotte County issue. This affects every 911 call center across the country, including this one in Lee County and this one in Collier. I called the 4 major cell phone carriers, their lobbying group, and the FCC. I learned that new rules will be going into place to make the system better. But there's a catch. They don't have to go into effect for another 4 years.
Collier County 911. What is the address to your emergency?
What we do is we're able to capture more sensors on your smartphone.
Michael Martin thinks he has the answer to the problem.
So in addition to GPS and cell towers, also barometric pressure, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth information.
His startup company that's made up of Ivy Leaguers and former FCC executives has developed technology that can send your exact location from your cell phone to 911.
And that could really make a difference in terms of the response.
Rapid SOS is perfecting its technology by working with 911 centers across the country.
This is just going to be a regular 911 call, and Bob's actually going to show what's coming in today, and then we'll show the new technology as it comes through.
So we decided to test it out from inside Collier's dispatch center. And again, we called 911 using all 4 carriers.
So this is on AT&T.
And every time, Rapid SOS pinpointed our exact location within seconds.
We can even pinpoint where we are indoors inside the facility here.
While Collier County dispatchers, relying on the current system,
So probably 3-4 miles away.
struggled to find our location.
It's very frustrating. I mean, I'm sure it's the same way for the community, and a lot of that information is out there, but it's not available to public safety.
So several miles versus within a few meters here of location.
Martin tells me Rapid SOS is working with the cell phone carriers and the FCC to get this technology embedded into our cell phones before 2021. But the FCC would not comment on their relationship. If this testing is going on, why aren't they updating media and updating the public?
I think there's a desire to see those results before they speak publicly about how good or bad it's ultimately going to end up.
So while the FCC waits to release results,
Not much has changed at all.
callers are waiting too
I'm just perfect evidence.
for help that didn't come 10 years ago
My family's evidence.
and isn't coming now.
My 2 boys without a mother are evidence that this is unacceptable.
Even if the rapid SOS system gets embedded into cell phones, it will take years for most 911 centers to catch up to the technology. For the NBC2 Investigators tonight, live in Cape Coral, I'm Rachel Polansky.